What's good, guys? This is my man, Coach Richie Rich, Coach Babs. Welcome to the Think Strong, Be Strong channel. If it's your first time here, hit the like and subscribe button. If you're an avid listener, welcome back, man. Much appreciated. There's no intro today. We're just going to keep it rolling. We'll keep it moving, straightforward. I want to talk about two things that are very important to me, man. Number one, being accepted as you are. Number two, not caring what other people say about you or what people have to say. Might have done this before, might not have done it before. But you know, I believe sometimes when it keeps coming back to you over and over, it's like the universe or God or whatever it is you believe in is telling you that maybe the message needs to be heard again. I would say, you know, check out my other video on it, but you know, you'd have to go through a whole lot of videos before you got there. But look, acceptance is really important. You know, I dated and I married someone who was more, and these are two different people, right? So I dated and I married, so two different people, right? But they were both more into me for the idea of what they had of me for themselves. Let me explain. You know how you can see something, right? And then you could see where it could be in the future, the potential of something. Like, you know, when you're painting a picture, right? And or you're about to paint your masterpiece, right? And you look at the canvas that's blank, right? And then you want to create your own masterpiece on this canvas, you know, and you're gassed about the idea, right? I do this a lot with tattoos, right? I'll get a tattoo and I'll see how it already looks, and I'll like the tattoo, but then when I go to the tattooist, I'll be like, I want this, but change this to this and change that to that and change that to that, and you know, take this out completely, and you know, I'll basically completely change the whole tattoo, right? And I've done it with quite a few of mine, and then you know, at the end of it, the tattoo still goes, so basically you want a whole different tattoo. And they're like, no, it's still the same tattoo, but I'm just changing this, and that. And then once it's done it, I'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, it's a whole different tattoo. Do you know what I mean? There are people who do that with people. You know, they'll probably meet somebody, and they have this vision of what they want that person to be like, and they want to now create their masterpiece, and they're gassed about it. You know, they're happy, they're excited over it, right? And they fall in love with that idea and that notion, and they no longer accept how you are because they want to change who you are. And you know, the change is two stages. One, it's them, and second, it's you. Do you understand? Because you can't force anybody to change that much. You can try and force different habits, you can try and manipulate different mentalities, but you can't force something 100%. The other person has to be ready to transform into what that person wants, you know. And they'll probably do it because they love you, they'll probably do it because they're afraid, they'll probably do it because they don't know if they're ever going to get an opportunity to meet somebody that's so great like that. I mean, yo, that's how I felt at one stage, you know. Like, I don't think I'll ever meet somebody as beautiful as this person, you know. And I allowed changes to take place, changes that didn't sit well with who I am and who my inner person is, you know. And the thing is, there are certain changes that you're gonna undertake in life that are for you naturally, and they're gonna be ones that are not for you. And those are the ones that you're forcing to make happen. And you'll know if it's not for you because you won't feel comfortable, you won't feel happy, and you'll go from doing things because you want to do it, then to doing it for that person just so that they feel okay. So you go from doing it for you to make you happy to now you do it for the sake of peace or to make them happy, you know. And I'm I like to consider myself to be a very accepting person. Like, I will meet you and I'll accept you as you are. Anything you want to transform or you want to change, it is for you to change. But I like to accept people the way they are, and I think it's very important that people are allowed to be who they are, and people who encounter them can either accept them as they are, or if they don't like it, that's fine. Let them move on to something that they do like. It is not for everybody to come into another person's life and force a change on them because you think it's for their benefit, when you know you're probably going to be around for the longest time anyway. I mean, some of the changes that I went through because I felt like there was something wrong with my character, my personality, the way I look, the way I think, the way I am. You know, I was told you play too much. You don't take nothing seriously. You're too laid back. You're too, you're too flirtatious. You're too this, you're too that. Why you always got to be the center of attention when you walk into a place. Things that people will feel things that some people may not like, other people might love about you. But the thing is, if these are your characters, this is who you are, then it's who you are. It's not for it's not for you to now feel guilty for who you are. It's not for you to be made to feel ashamed of who you are. It's who you are. So take it, accept it, or move on. See, the beautiful thing about life is anything in your characteristic or your personality that's not going to be there for long due to the trials that you will go through in life are going to go anyway. And new characteristics or things about you are going to, take place inside you. The best example I can give is, I don't know if you've seen this cartoon Inside Out, but it's like, the inside the mind of this child at the stage that they're in. It's all illustrated with emotion and the fairground, right? And the fairground always has different rides, which are different emotions, experiences that you've been on. And the thing is, as you get older, the choices you make and the paths and the things you experience in life, causes some fairgrounds to shut down in the mind, and then new rides to, be created to just show that your level of thinking and your mentality has evolved and it's changed. And now there are new things they've experienced and new ways for you to be based on your experiences. So you're never going to be the same way anyway. So it's not really for somebody to walk in and change who you are. It's for somebody to walk in and accept you as you are. And it's also for you to remain true to yourself and stay as you are. Don't be trying to live your life to please anybody. Please yourself. As long as you're not hurting nobody and disrespecting anybody and doing anything malicious, be true to who you are, because who you are is what the world is waiting for anyway, and what the right person who's going to come in your life is waiting for anyway. If you too busy changing yourself, trying to be something you're not, or someone you're not, what the world is looking for, they're gonna speed past you. The person that you want to meet in your life ain't gonna recognize you because you're not in the form you're supposed to be. You're too busy trying to be somebody you're not. So every opportunity and people that are looking for the way you are meant to be won't see you because you don't look like what they expected. You're not acting what is expected of you as yourself for them to find you. And another thing is, because the reason why I put the two together, acceptance as who you are, and then doesn't matter what people say, is because sometimes we will find that the way we change is based on what other people say. You have such a high sex drive, you automatically think maybe now when I'm around this person I shouldn't be so, shouldn't be on her as much or on him as much. Or you talk a lot, don't you? And then you start feeling like maybe you shouldn't say anything. But the truth is, when you're around somebody like me, when I'm around somebody and I'm liking their energy, I talk. If I don't like your energy, I don't talk. And sometimes I just don't feel like talking. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a thing, and it's happened to me, and I'm still working on it, where sometimes what people say may influence the way I behave and the way I act. you know, and again, it starts to change me who I am. And what I'm saying to you is, don't allow that to happen. You know, tell yourself you're fine the way you are. Tell yourself, okay, if they don't like that, that's fine. Sometimes, you know, Fred jokes, say, well, you know what, if you don't want to listen, you don't have to listen. I talk because I'm happy. I talk because I like your vibe. But if you don't want me to talk, that's fine. Don't talk to me then, and I'll talk to somebody else. You understand? That's just an example. Like, don't allow what people say about you change who you are as you are, and allow you, and make you feel like you're not acceptable, or you're not, you know, you need to change who you are. You don't need to change nothing. Do you know what I mean? There's that song, Scars. You don't have to change the way you are. The world can change its heart. Do you know what I mean? Let those who are not used to you either go find what they're used to, or change how they deliver their form of constructive criticism to you, or just don't let what they say affect you. Take in what you think is useful, and everything else, filter it out like white noise. Simple things. Do you know what I mean? So yo, don't change who you are, because who you are is perfect. You are fine the way you are, and if they can't accept that, that's their problem, not your problem. Don't allow all that chit chat get in your ears to change or influence who you are, because the way you are is what the world needs. And if you transform yourself from who you are to something completely different to what you are, what and who you're meant to be, those that need you will not be able to find you, because you don't look like what they were told you were gonna look like. You know, it's like getting a facelift or getting cosmetic surgery done when you don't need it. And now somebody's done described how you look, and then the other person's walked past and they didn't even see you because you done changed everything, because you weren't like what they described. And you didn't need to change anyway. You feel what I'm saying? Anything that you want to do, do because you want to do it. Anything you want to say, feel, or act like, do because you want to do it. Yes, people can give advice. Advice is cool. Advice is not law. You understand? Advice is cool, but advice is not law. So take what works for you, disregard the rest. It's not rude or disrespectful, it's just that's what works for you. You know, not every ingredient put into a dish makes the dish delicious. Sometimes it makes it just not nice. So just let it work for what it works for you. You know, your sauce, because that's the word in it, everybody's got sauce. Your sauce is based on you, because you're the ingredient, not what everybody else is inputting into it. You understand? Life will teach you all kinds of things, which is fine, but don't allow it to change you. Don't allow people to change you. If they don't like you for the way you are, then don't waste your time with them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave a comment in the box below. Like I always say, live your life one step, one rep at a time. Think strong, be strong. And remember, impossible is nothing. Peace.